As the reader progresses through this page, whenever the letter J or G is part of a word or name, use the substitution rule of changing the J or G to a Y. Why so many lions? The hypnotic trance state that we find ourselves experiencing in this 3D realm had its origins somewhere in the illusory past. The chart immediately below describes the subliminal and the suggestion attached that has simply, but effectively, manipulated our 3D reality into appearing as if it actually is reality. As the suggestions and subliminals are primarily directed in English, this by no means weakens the effect of all languages which have lent their persuasive qualities into establishing our present 3D illusory life experience. All languages have worked in unison to create the most deadly and manipulative language of all, which we experience now, and which is the English language. The Gospel of John 1:1 tells us that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Apart from being a complete fabrication and manipulation from reality, this passage from the New Testament is revealing nonetheless. First off, this is John 1:1. John equals iron equals the electrified atom called Adam, the coming of the light, the manifestation of the woman Eve, the all-iron, the all-light, the all-seeing eye. The verse is 1:1, which looks incredibly like a number 11, the number of death. In the beginning was the Word. More simply stated, beginning was the Word. Remember to substitute the J or G with a Y for this B and G word. Beginning equals binini equals B sacrifice yen, or in something from nothing, and ini, yin or ria nor I again, intensifying the suggestion of the I. So what was the Word? The Word was beginning, or the I, the Eve, the goddess of light, who, in the illusory ancient kingdom of Babylon was known as Astarte, or Ashtarte. Astarte equals a start, or a starting point, the beginning. The coming of the light involved the manifestation of an electrical current. This current was a simple suggestion that supported the notion of currency, and the eventual creation of a money system, whereby all might be able to buy and sell. The word buy is, of course, a word that has already been substituted with a Y for a G, and suggests a bug. These are the pillars that the trance state is built upon. The B and G pillars of the goddess of light, Astarte, and symbolized by the sun and the moon. This goddess of light became acquainted with the moon goddess, the flood goddess, and the living water meant to regenerate our souls. This water in turn constitutes the current of regeneration, and became the basis, the foundation, of the Word of God, and worshipped through the symbols of the sun and moon. The sun and moon equals Solomon. This is the start of the Temple of Solomon, the temple of the sun and moon, founded and fabricated in the illusory kingdom of Babylon. With this fabricated Godhead operating as the 3D illusory reality, all are equipped to buy and sell, if events go in their favor. Buy and sell equals B and S equals BS or bullshit. Keep in mind as the reader progresses through this page. Everything in the three-dimensional realm is absolute bullshit. Nothing is real, and nothing is worth getting upset about, or reacting to. In spite of what the fearmongers, the self-proclaimed messiahs, and conspiracy theorists urge us to do, we must not react, or be concerned for anything that appears to be transpiring all about us. For it's all an illusion. Simply be aware that those who are instigating some sort of justice from within this three-dimensional lunatic pit are caught up in a cycle of despair, and grasping at straws that are non-existent. These human wonders with the gift of speaking manipulation have succumbed to the Luciferian mindset, believing that truth, which is many times channeled from some hidden entity, and is meant to instill reaction, resentment, retaliation, with the ultimate goal, unbeknown to them, of deepening the trance state. The way out of this dilemma, this horrific trance-based coma, is through awareness that this is an illusion, and to simply emotionally disconnect, and detach from the manipulative suggestion extended against reality, throughout every illusory day. The coming of the light, is the coming of the all-iron. The arrival of the illusory supreme God. In subliminal suggestion language, this sounds as, all iron equals all iron equals a line, obviously referring to the illusory supreme God Allah. This is the line of Babylon, the line of Judaism, the line of Islam and the line of Christianity. This line has spread to the west, as well as conquering the lands of the east. The word Asia means lion in many dialects. The word India equals Dhyani or Diana, a variation name for the moon goddess Astarte. Diana equals Inanu equals Ananu equals Ianu equals and equals something from nothing. This something is referring to the illusion of light manipulation, which we recognize as hypnosis. The line from the tribe of Judah Yuta, here again, is another example of a J word, when substituted with a Y, reveals just how powerful this substitution can be. Utah is one of the 11 western states and is also one of the 4 Corner Cross states. Utah is the home base of the Mormon religion, which includes as part of its doctrine, the belief in alien life as an important aspect of their religion. Alien equals alien. In the charts that follow, the significance of the location and name of Utah will become extremely obvious. The chart immediately below shows just 3 of the line graphics used by different nations, but especially the British royal family. This line symbolism harkens back to the coming of the light in Babylon, the start of the illusory 3D realm, which manifested as the Sphinx line in Giza, Egypt. This Sphinx line is referred to as a lion couchant, or lying down. The next line graphic is the lion sedient, or the lion sitting up. The lion's 2 front legs are straight up and down, and relate to the 2 pillars of Solomon's temple. This will be elaborated on in the charts to follow. This sequence of line graphics is a subliminal that suggests that the lion is on the move, on the hunt, and will be shown on this page exactly where its prey is located. The lion is androgynous, displaying characteristics of both sexes. The Sphinx has female as well as male mythological elements attached to it, in the different cultures and periods throughout this illusory 3D history we now experience. This is based on the coming of the light, which is the beginning of the thought process, which conjured up the Adam and the Eve, the male and the female notion, and manifested itself as a lion, or a lion. The third line graphic is the lion rampant, suggesting the lion is on a rampage. This coincides with the building of the European cathedrals. These magnificent structures are spellbinding. Which of course, was the whole idea. A little more spell, a little deeper into the trance state. Thought by many to be the most magnificent of all the cathedrals is the Lincoln Cathedral. The name Lincoln, not being at all accidental, still has a cover story so as not to give away the true intent of this structure. The name of this cathedral is the Cathedral Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Lincoln. Mary is another name that equates to the moon goddess Astarte. Astarte was the coming of the light, the electrical current generated through the thought process. This was the current of the living water of regeneration, which is the life and death process. This living water is the mare, the sea, the Mary, the Holy See, the all-seeing eye, the Supreme God, and the Lion King who would have a cathedral built in Lincoln, Lincolnshire County, England. Lincoln equals Lion King. The reader must take note of the shape of Solomon's temple. At the entrance to Solomon's temple, there's an altar where sacrifices are prepared. Then a flight of stairs, Astarte, leads up to the temple itself. This coincides with the 2 paws of the lion, creating a slight rise before passing into the temple. There are 2 pillars at the entrance to the temple. Rising above these pillars, there's a tall, 11-story tower before entering the holy place. This was called the porch, and together with the 2 pillars, coincide with the head of the lion that rises up from, and above, the 2 legs. The holy place led to the Holy of Holies at the far end of the temple, which together, formed the body of the lion, immediately behind the head. The cathedrals of Europe followed this same pattern. The symbolism is blatantly obvious, and is found in even the smallest of Christian churches throughout the world, regardless of denomination or doctrine. All religion, everywhere, including the religion of atheism, is based on the coming of the light, which is the god Lucifer, the group entity Egregor, the light bringer, and coincides with the initiation of the thought process, the introduction of science, referred to as the Luciferian mindset.